This is a video guide for the SMH users to display the use of the daily balance tool for determining overstaffed days off, or OSDOs, and also the request tool for requesting the OSDOs. I'll be using a demo site, so the changes made here are not affecting the real site, and I'll be logged on as Dr. Kindop. If you're not already on the schedule page, you'll want to use the tab system to get to the schedule page. On the schedule page, there are the tabs to choose whether you're using a position view or the staff view. I'll start with the position view just to demonstrate how this tool works there, but do most of the changes on the staff view. So if you click on any assignment in order to get the swap menu, you'll see down below the swap menu there's the daily balance panel, and then below that there's a menu item that allows you to show daily balances. So in the position view, if you click on that, you'll see that the excess, which is in yellow, shows up in brackets after the day abbreviation. So if our numbers match the requirement for that day, it's a green background. If we're overstaffed, it's a yellow background, and if we're understaffed, it's a red background. Similarly, if you use the tabs to go to the staff view, and again click any assignment label, and you can choose again to show the daily balances. In this case, it's across the top row. On a month where the assignments, the surgical OR assignments have already been entered by OR booking, the calculation is based on the actual needs, which will include the cataract rooms having been taken out of the mix. In this instance, there are 2 days that show up having excess staff. So I'm going to, again, posing as Dr. Kindop, click on his day, and you'll see if there are overstaffed days off available, there will be an additional menu choice down below the Show Daily Balances item to request that day off. If you click on that, it opens the request form already preloaded with the date and with the requested activity. So at that point, you could just say submit request, and what would happen would be an email would go out to yourself and to the scheduler with the request for that day. Also, because you've requested something that's not granted, the background of the cell that you clicked upon will become yellow, which is a flag to the scheduler where to look for these requests in addition to the email message. Note these other fields. If you do want to provide a comment that perhaps explains why you urgently need that day, you can do so. The comments by default are visible to anyone, but you can change that to be visible to the administrator only. These are visible when somebody goes to the request board. Similarly, you can send the email by default just to the administrator only, but if you want to broadcast an email to the whole group, you can choose that. So if we submit this request, the form refills for another request, you can just dismiss that. And if we then refresh the page, we'll see that Dr. Kindop's cell for the 5th is now showing as yellow. If you click on the background of that cell to get the availability menu, you'll notice that the reason it's yellow is because there's a mismatch in that he's required the OSDO but does not have one. Similarly, in months where the OR booking has not entered the surgical services yet, if you do the same thing, click any assignment, show daily balances. You can also see the days that we're projected to be overstaffed. So these numbers are based just on the calculation of our daily commitment. The actual numbers could be higher by any of those days, depending on when OR management books in cataracts. And otherwise, it's the same procedure. You get the swap menu up, and you'll see that there's a link to the request board. It doesn't matter which cell you click on to access this request form. The application knows that it's you submitting it, and you can only submit for yourself. So if I submit this request again and refresh the page, there's Dr. Kindup's date now showing that he's requested something.